Hi there, Gemini. Let's have a look at the new moon for you in Taurus at 28 degrees. So this new moon is going to cover from the 19th, from the 19th of May, up until the, don't quote me, but I think around the 20th of next month, when we probably more like the 17th or 16th. So it's going to cover the next 28 days for you. So this next 4 weeks. So Gemini, you have this, we have a lot going on in Taurus at the moment. This new moon is in Taurus, so it's sitting in your 12th sector. This is everything you have here is all sitting in your 12th sector, as Gemini sitting here. Your first sector. So when it sits in the 12th sector, this is all about your subconscious mind. It's not always something that's sort of hidden behind the scenes. It's not something that we can utilize. Like Taurians, of course, they can utilize us at a stronger level, but for Gemini, it's sort of sitting behind the scenes until you come into your new moon in 28 days in Gemini. And this is when you sort of come out into the outer environment and start to shine a bit more, or start to feel more energy for new things. So what it'll be over the next 28 days is this is the time where you're formulating ideas in an unconscious way. So it's not going to necessarily be in the conscious way of, like I said, when it's sitting in your first sector. It's it's going to be behind the scenes. So you might find over the next 4 weeks you've got a really vivid dream life, because of course the subconscious relates to our dream experience. Also your intuition is going to be really heightened with all this energy going on, and you might Jupiter Mercury here node is all about fortunate connections and new ideas, new agreements with others. Now you've got that sitting in the background, but it might be something that you sort of, an idea or a dream, or that you saw yourself doing something with other people. So it's sort of like, it's not going to be there in your forefront where you get a phone call and someone invites you to something and you go, this is what she's talking about. It's sort of going to be, I think it's like you're going to dream about it before it happens, if you like. So it's not saying this all these changes that are coming isn't going to affect you. It's just saying it's going to be more in the subconscious until we move into June for you. So what you have, we have this Venus-Mars going on here. Now this is your second house. So this is your house of finances, and it's a really good place to have Venus in the second house. The second sector is all ruled by Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So to have Venus here, it's sort of very, it's a good month for finances. It's also a good month to be, doing things around, how you're wanting to create more security for yourself. There's also a lot relative to your value system. Now with Mars there sitting in that second, you might find there might be others that you're feeling you're not in alignment with, or you've got different values with. So it's like Gemini likes to discuss that and work around that, But with Mars and Venus here, in that second, it sort of feels really motivating for, creating more security, like I said, for yourself. So Pluto's currently in the 9th sector for you. So, you may have been thinking about you wanting to do more travel, or wanting to study sort of more spiritual subjects, or could be relative to culture. Now, it's going to be going through that 9th sector for a long time, but it is going to transit back through the 8th sector. And this is going to happen from July to September. And with that going on there, that's sort of like, that's your last little part of what do I need to release at a deep subconscious level to move forward. So sort of lots of opportunities to sort of clear stuff where you're feeling like something's stopping you from moving forward into a space that you'd really like to be in, or for achieving a certain thing. Again, this is where you got that last opportunity to do that. But otherwise, Gemini should have done a lot of that anyway during the last few years with Pluto going through that space. By September it goes into the 9th, and like I said, going to the 9th, that's when it's going to be a lot of fun for you Geminis, because especially those that like to travel, and those that love to learn, and of course Gemini likes to do both. So let's have a look at the cards for Gemini for the next 4 weeks. really nice heart energy around Gemini right now, and it's been around the recent past. So you may have been feeling a bit more connected to the heart, to your heart, or you know, it could be new energy of love around you for Gemini. It could be just more loving what you're doing, and you know, finding things that you really enjoy doing, discovering new creative gifts and so forth. Could be a new position of work, but really nice. Or it could be a pregnancy. Anywhere we're bringing new love and things to get excited about is all relative to the Ace of Cups. Okay, so yes, it's like there is a new cycle coming in, and there's talk about moving, or should we move, but there's resistance to it. And I can see why with the astrology, because to me it would only be because it doesn't feel right yet, because everything's in the place of your subconscious. Once it comes into your conscious awareness, then you're going to be 100% clear on exactly any changes you want to make. But it does look like Gemini is thinking about change, but they're sort of holding up on change. And it's, like I said, that's actually appropriate for Gemini for right now, for where the planets are. I think Gemini, you know, they like to think about the future. They like to see where can I see myself in the future. And, you know, there might be an issue here on relative to, again, heart energy. And is this going to, am I going to be happy in my future? So there's something about wanting to be happy in the future and feeling like that could be unachievable with your circumstances right now. So that's okay. It's just like that awareness is there to actually help you to release and let go of anything that is actually creating this unhappiness, or anything that has not been working out for you. Now, it doesn't mean you have to just drop everything and run away. What it sort of means is that address what has been hurtful, address what has been not working. If there's an issue within a relationship, address why there is issues there. As in, why do I feel this way? Because the issue isn't necessarily the person, it's more about how this person is making you feel. And then we can start to focus on ourselves, because we can't change anybody, we can only change ourselves. We can't control anybody either, we can only control ourselves and our actions and reactions to these people. So I feel like if there's something triggering us, then look at what it is. I'm not saying you're being triggered, Gemini, that's not necessarily the message, but it's more like something here you're fed up with, something you're sick of, actually, something you just feel like is just not you. It's like you want to, something that you're feeling like, this is not my future. So that's fine. If it's really not been good for you, just go, not on my watch. I'm not creating that. This is what I'm creating. So, you know, Gemini can battle between security and, you know, having that security and, you know, fulfilling their dreams. And I feel like this is an opportunity over this next 4 weeks to actually address how you can have both. Because, of course, both is important. It's like we don't have to sacrifice one for the other. Both should be in alignment with each other. And I feel like where you feel restricted, because Geminis do not like to be restricted. And if you're finding you're in situations, whether it's in your work, whether it's in your personal relationships, where you're feeling restricted, you know, this is a time when you're going to start to look at the changes again that you're wanting. So, you know, this came up in the first reading I did for the collective, you know, and it was a lot about breaking free with this Jupiter, Mars, Pluto, and then the nodes. This is like about, no, we're going to move forward in a productive and a free way. Jupiter and Taurus is very much about freeing ourselves up and not being tied down, whether it's to money, whether it's to relationship, whether it's to work. You know, it's not that it's like utilizing these things for what they're for, and for, you know, we want these things in our life, we need these things, but not making it fully our life, not making it everything, you know, adding things into our life to make it so that we have a bit more freedom, or so that we're not feeling restricted in any way, because I think the restrictions are going to be an issue for a lot of people during this next 4 weeks. So the other thing that was actually picking up with the Jupiter, Mars, Pluto was also resolution happening for those that have had some worries or concerns. Resolution meaning worries, concerns for, you know, when it comes to others being on board or agreeing. It's almost like there's much more agreeable situations with others. Very good news about what we can do, how we can move forward. And, you know, Gemini loves to multitask. They like to have enough variety. They don't like the routine as much. They like to have, of course, you know, depending. Some Geminis are different, of course. Some Geminis have got Mercury and Taurus. They're going to need that routine. They're going to love that routine. But the other side of the Gemini is going to go, oh, I want to be doing more variety. So what I'm saying here is go into that depth of that variety and that mobility that you have, that flexibility to bend and move and do this and then do a bit of that, and go into that more, because this is what I feel for Gemini. A lot of your creative mind is going to come through in a really strong way. Now, any Geminis that are writing, because in Geminis this is the writing sign, they're going to have a lot of creative and psychic energy to pull on with all this 12th house stuff, and it does look like, if you're writing and that, there's a lot of channeling going on here. There's a lot of information coming through for those that write. But otherwise, of those that are just, utilizing lots of different ideas, and they're doing a lot of this and that, like say you're in an office and you jump in the car and you do this delivery and then you're back there and you're working on that. And it's sort of like you're doing it intuitively, is what I'm trying to say. It's like you're doing, even if it's just your general day routine with the variety that it has, you're doing it sort of intuitively so that it's making you feel more free. Because if you feel like you've got, here it is, here's all your paperwork, sit down and get on with that, so you're going to sit there and go, look, I'm not a Virgo. I can't do that. I could do that for 5 minutes. But again, like I said, this isn't necessarily always true for all Geminis. But what I'm saying here is that it could feel a bit stifling, this sort of thing of plodding along in the Taurian way. And we are in Taurus energy, and Gemini, that sits in the background for them. They're wanting to, the action, they're wanting to get on with things, and they're wanting to definitely be a lot more active and mobile than what things have been. And it does look like you're getting the opportunity to do that. So I keep getting these combinations that sort of give me like information coming from above, intuition. This is like new levels of intuition for Gemini here. There's also some information which is surprising. Now, Geminis are quick to act. So say something comes out and you go, wow, wasn't expecting that. Oh, here's an opportunity for me. Right, I can see where this can take me, and they jump on it. So, whether you're expecting it or not, looks a little bit unexpected, to be honest. Where other people could be in a bit of a flack of what's going on, you're going, oh, I can see the opportunity. And I'm not saying you're opportunists, I'm saying that you're action people, and that you have really fast minds and quick ideas, and that you can sort of make things happen, pretty quickly when you want to. So that looks really good for Gemini. Like I said, it's a productive month. It's a month where there does seem to be good news on money. I didn't mention that actually, but it's money borrowed. So it's like if you're looking at purchasing property, or you're looking at can we move forward for more, you might be looking at borrowing some money, something to do with loans here. But it's like everything is secure. Whatever this message is, if you're worried about anything, it's saying that yes, there are a few little limitations and frustrations there, but that's only like a 20%. It's actually showing things are very secure and very much actually more in your control than you realise. So that looks really good for Gemini, and I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you next time. Bye.